Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is June 8th, and right now we are looking at the infrared slash visible satellite imagery. I played this all the way through yesterday. You can see that big storm across the Gulf of Alaska moving north, and then you see the sun set across the area. Here we go through nighttime, and then the sun rises back across Pacific Northwest, and you can see this band of clouds is trying to make its way closer to the Pacific Northwest here. And I'm going to scroll ahead a little bit more here because you're going to see some of this cloud activity here across some of eastern Oregon as we go through the morning hours here. We could kick off some strong to severe thunderstorms, again, mainly along eastern Oregon. And tomorrow we're going to extend that a little bit further north here. We'll take a look at some of that detail here as we go through the video in a moment. We'll take a look at the extended forecast as well. And in the meantime, we're dealing with some pretty warm temperatures here across the Pacific Northwest. We'll dive into that a little bit as well. Here's the thunderstorms this afternoon through tonight. You can see it does include the limited risk there. It does include Crater Lake there in Klamath Falls. And if you go out towards Paisley here, you start to get the elevated risk here. Some prolific lightning producers here, some strong winds and some hail. 60 miles per hour would be no joke there. So when thunder roars, go indoors if you want to be completely safe. That was issued here this morning at 6 a.m. by the Medford National Weather Service. So here we're looking at Pendleton, Oregon. You can see this does include Silver Lake, Burns, and Jordan Valleys here, almost up to John Day here. So you can't rule out some stronger thunderstorms out here across eastern Oregon as we go through the day today. Now, taking a look at Spokane, they do talk about this here, showers and thunderstorms on Sunday. This is for tomorrow. It does include Spokane, Wenatchee, Chelan, Winthrop, Omak, Republic, Colville, Sandpoint, Moscow, Lewiston, Grangeville, and Walla Walla, Dayton here. I actually am not sure how to pronounce that city's name there. Maybe somebody can fill me in or I'll look it up at a later time. But yeah, lightning, small hail, and gusty winds. This is issued at 4:30 this morning here by the Spokane National Weather Service. It does include Ritzville as well. And this is for Tuesday. We're going to have some systems trying to move through here, and some breezy west winds showing back up, gusts of 24 to 40 miles per hour for the Columbia Basin, the Palouse, the Spokane area, Cascade Gaps. You guys know the drill. Taking a look at Seattle, Tacoma, there is a gale warning up. This goes through this afternoon through tomorrow morning down the Strait of Juan de Fuca. Could include extreme western portions of Whidbey Island out there, so mariners have a heads up there. We're going to get some blustery conditions starting to roll in here, and again, the gale warning will be in effect about 5 p.m. tonight. This is Seattle. Yesterday, 77 degrees. What a nice day it was, and we are probably going to be even a little warmer again here today, but you're going to start to see the clouds start to come over the top, so we're not going to have the severe clear perfect blue sky. You will get some clouds painting the sky, maybe a nice sunset out there as well. 72 the previous day. Probably headed towards 80 today, actually. And now if we take a look at waves, this is yesterday afternoons. You can see this wave action out over the Pacific Ocean, and it does spread a bit of a bump here as we go through tomorrow morning along the coastal areas. Nothing too extreme there, but just have that in the back of your mind if you're going out to the coastal areas. And then we kind of relax things for a bit, at least for now. And this is kind of wind-driven stuff down out of the north winds here as we go on in through the mid-portion of next week. And if you want a nice, affordable home weather station to watch this crazy weather we get here and you watch the temperatures at your house, this one's great. The thermometer shield here is pretty nice. It's pretty accurate there also, and you can see it does have solar panels on it. It's all solar powered, haptic rain gauge, ultrasonic anemometer. Highly recommend it. Click on that link down below to save 10%. Now, taking a look here, Skywarn Spotter training class. Again, this is Benton County Emergency Services Building in Richland, Washington. The cost is free. You learn a lot about weather out here. Become a weather spotter. The length is about 2 hours, so heads up for that. This is National Weather Service Pendleton advertising this action. So if we take a look at the European artificial intelligence on the left versus the European on the right, I don't know the exact differences between the models. Yes, I'm in the process of learning this right now, but there are some differences that do emerge here when you run the models through. You can see in the short term, pretty good. And we start to get this system rolling through as we go through the day Tuesday. We flatten out this ridge a bit, more of a zonal flow. And then you can see the next system start to arrive. And the regular European wants to swing a bit more of a potent system here as we go through the end of the week and on in towards next week. And you can see the artificial intelligence one hangs this system back a bit here, but, relatively decent agreement for 180 hours out there. And then we continue to scroll on, and you can see this one actually moves across Idaho and Montana a bit with a bit more strength there, a deeper low. And then you can see another trough here looming on the artificial intelligence one a little bit further north in the European. So I'll continue to watch this, and I'll do my best to learn exactly what this is processing here over the next few weeks as well. If we look at the GFS here, let's put this into motion. There's our ridge trying to hang on, our weak trough that moves through on Sunday. Ridge briefly tries to build back on Monday, but we quickly turn that zonal, and another system will be arriving here at some point on Tuesday that swings through. And then the GFS wants to bring an even deeper low as we go on and through the mid portion of June. Check it out. This is about Saturday here. This would be next weekend, and you can see pretty deep troughs setting up across a lot of the West Coast here. Pacific Northwest kind of bullseyeing right over top there as that moves through, and then even actually strengthens as it moves across some of the Canadian prairies there. So that'll be something to watch here as we go through the next few days to see which model is going to be correct, the European or the GFS. Taking a look at the HRR, the high resolution rapid refresh, this is the composite reflectivity. Let's see what's going to happen today. And this is just one model's interpretation of it, but these would be prolific lightning producers again across eastern Oregon, and you can't rule out a lightning strike a little bit further to the west, I would say, and maybe an outside chance across some of the southern Cascades. But these would be strong storms packing a puncher, some gusty winds, some small, actually not some small hail, probably a little bit bigger than small hail. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Have your heads up for that one. And then as we go on in through Sunday, we're going to add a little bit of thunderstorm activity here to maybe the North Cascades, some of BC here, some of eastern Washington, eastern Oregon yet again as we scroll through the afternoon hours. And you can see it by OMAC there and some of British Columbia, northern Washington. You could have a couple prolific lightning producers moving across as we go through the afternoon and the evening hours. So if we look and see what the lightning flash density potential is, we're mainly going to look at today because I just want to kind of show you these storms could be prolific lightning producers. So heads up, eastern Oregon as you go through the day today. Now looking at the European model run, so there's that weak frontal system with the big storms that moved way up towards the south coast of Alaska. You can see not much in the way of precipitation makes it into western Washington or western BC, maybe a stray shower, but there goes that thunderstorm activity as we go through today and tomorrow. The European wants to kick off a couple storms again across the higher terrain of British Columbia, Washington, down through the Oregon Cascades as we go through tomorrow. You can see Idaho and Montana as well getting in on that action out towards Alberta by the time we go in towards Monday morning. And then we've got that next system here. You can see this low forming right off the coast of British Columbia here, and it doesn't bring too much precipitation to western Washington or Oregon, lesser amounts for Oregon, but British Columbia and some of Alberta do pick up some beneficial precipitation out of that one. Now looking at the European, the lightning flash density potential, this would be for today, this afternoon, Sunday, and then as we go on in through actually Saturday, this is Sunday here, I was talking about Saturday, let me back that up here. This is for this afternoon, Saturday. Now let's scroll on in through Sunday afternoon, and you can see some of British Columbia and Washington Cascades cannot roll out a lightning strike here, and then kind of a repeat across some of the Intermountain West. And then as we go into Monday, you can see that activity moving off to the east. Let's go on in through Tuesday afternoon just to kind of highlight the fact that British Columbia and Alberta could get a thunderstorm on Tuesday. Now, if we take a look at the national blend of models here, look at Seattle at 80, Portland to the low 80s here, some 90s for eastern Washington. Again, the clouds will be arriving and a severe thunderstorm cannot be ruled out across eastern Oregon. As we go through tomorrow, Sunday, you see a little bit of a cool down for Seattle and Portland and western British Columbia, and actually even eastern Washington and Oregon cooling down a bit. Then Monday, Wednesday. I'm getting my days mixed up today. There's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but you can see the drop in the temperatures as we go towards next weekend. That's when that trough is trying to show up here, and that would really suppress the temperatures as we head towards next weekend here. So while this weekend has been great, next weekend is kind of up in the air literally right now, and we'll be watching that as we go. This is Seattle, Tacoma. You can see the nice warm temperatures here, and then dropping it off here as the troughing tries to come through as we go through the mid portion of the month and maybe a bounce back. Who knows what this will bring as we go through the end of June. And this is kind of looking at precipitation potential. This is actually the Sunday system here, and it doesn't completely rule out a stray shower here for SeaTac. And then the Tuesday system, pretty moisture starved, but then we have better chances as we go on in towards next weekend. And again, we'll be monitoring that here daily. And this is the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. You can kind of see they finally spotted those troughs here on the Climate Prediction Center. So if you're watching the channel, you're getting a little bit of a heads up even on the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. And this is issued again yesterday here. So you can kind of see that below average signal for some of the Pacific Northwest and above average precipitation chances as we go through June 13th through the 17th. Checking out the significant fire potential. This is issued yesterday, and kind of see that across NW10 here, some elevated risk there. And the yellow is moderate also. So just kind of a heads up. It's that time of the year where some fires can get going here, especially east of the Cascades, and lightning can be a trigger for that as well. We're going to have some thunderstorms over the next couple of days, so heads up. But anyway, yeah, hope you guys are liking these videos. Get out there and enjoy the warm temperatures here. And well, again, watch out east of the Cascades for that thunderstorm activity. And then we'll continue to watch to see what kind of systems are going to be rolling through midweek and then on through next weekend. Looks like it's going to be cooling us down a bit. The models are pretty set on bringing some kind of a system as we go through next weekend. And like I showed you, the GFS a little bit deeper than the European as of right now. And we'll continue to watch to see which model is going to be right. But anyway, hope you guys are liking these videos. Click like and subscribe. We will do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.